Let us begin by addressing a fundamental lie that has been sold to you by the modern entrepreneurial industrial complex. You have been told that to build a successful enterprise, you must be a visionary. You have been told that you need to disrupt an industry, build a complex artificial intelligence algorithm, or design a sleek consumer application that changes human behavior. I am here to tell you that this is a mathematical trap. The sexier the business, the higher the competition, the narrower the margins, and the faster the rate of failure. If you want to build true wealth, the kind of wealth that accumulates quietly, compounding day after day, night after night, while you are completely detached from the gears of production, you must learn to love the boring. Look around you. The world does not run on the extraordinary, it runs on the mundane. The infrastructure of daily civilization is held together by unglamorous, repetitive, and deeply unsexy necessities. These are the businesses that do not make the front pages of tech magazines. They do not win innovation awards. But they possess something far more valuable: predictable cash flow, high barriers to operational entry, inelastic demand, and the beautiful capacity to generate revenue while you sleep. When you sleep, people still need clean clothes. They still need a place to park their vehicles. They still need their waste removed, their data secured, and their structural roofs maintained. Capital does not care about glamour. Capital cares about utility. Let us systematically analyze 20 of these boring asset classes. We begin with the most physical, grounded forms of automated wealth generation. Consider the self-service coin laundry, or the laundromat. It is an extraordinary business model disguised as a chore. Human beings will always dirty their clothes, and in dense urban environments or lower income demographics, the capital expense of purchasing a private washer and dryer is prohibitive. The customer walks into your facility, brings their own labor, uses their own detergent, and inserts their currency directly into a machine. You are not selling a complex product. You are renting the utility of an appliance by the hour. When the doors lock automatically at midnight, the machines sit in the dark. But if you have a 24-hour card-operated facility, a nurse working the night shift is sliding their card at 3 in the morning to wash their scrubs. You are making money while asleep because you have institutionalized a basic human necessity. Step outside the laundromat and look at the asphalt. This brings us to the second boring empire, the automated car wash, specifically the express tunnel model. The modern express car wash is not a collection of laborers with buckets and rags. It is a highly mechanized, software-driven real estate play. Customers drive up, select a wash tier at a digital kiosk, and their vehicle is pulled through a mechanized bay. The labor cost is remarkably low, often requiring only 1 or 2 attendants to manage the facility. The beauty of this model lies in the modern transition to subscription billing. When you convert a car wash into a monthly membership club, you are no longer chasing weather patterns. You are collecting recurring revenue via automated credit card clearing systems on the first of every month. Whether it rains or shines, whether you are awake or asleep, those membership fees hit your bank account. Now consider where those cars go when they are not driving. They park. The third business is specialized parking lot management and ownership. A parking lot is essentially raw land that requires minimal structural maintenance, no climate control, and zero hospitality. You paint white lines on asphalt, install an automated gate arm with a ticket dispenser or a QR code scanning payment system, and you leave it alone. In high-density urban corridors, medical districts, or near transit hubs, space is the ultimate premium. While you are tucked into your bed, an airline passenger is leaving their vehicle in your airport proximity lot for 2 weeks. The gate arm stays down until the credit card clears. You are leasing a few square feet of dirt for $20 a day, thousands of times over, with virtually no inventory risk. If we expand this concept of leasing space to its logical conclusion, we find the fourth and fifth boring giants: self-storage facilities and mobile home parks. The self-storage industry is a beautiful monument to human consumerism. People buy more items than their homes can hold, yet their psychological attachment to their possessions prevents them from discarding them. Therefore, they rent a metal box. A self-storage facility is a concrete slab, corrugated steel walls, and a perimeter fence. With modern property management software, smart locks, and online leasing portals, a human being can rent a unit at 2 in the morning, receive a digital gate code, navigate to their unit, and move their boxes without ever interacting with an employee. You are renting air wrapped in steel. The default rates are legally protected by lien laws that allow you to auction off the contents if payment ceases. It is an asymmetric operational advantage. Similarly, mobile home parks offer a highly stable asset class. Unlike traditional apartment buildings where the landlord owns the structure and must fix the leaking toilet, the broken refrigerator, and the damaged drywall, a mobile home park owner typically rents only the dirt, the lot space. The tenant owns the mobile home structure. This completely shifts the capital expenditure burden. The park owner provides the utility hookups, the paved roads, and the lighting. If a toilet breaks at 3 in the morning, the tenant fixes it. Meanwhile, the lot rent is automatically drafted from their account monthly. It is one of the highest yielding, lowest maintenance forms of real estate existence. Let us transition from real estate to automated distribution networks. The sixth business is the humble vending machine route, but modernized. The traditional image of a vending machine is a broken soda dispenser in an auto repair shop. The modern reality is a portfolio of high-end, micro-market vending machines placed in secure corporate offices, hospitals, and logistics hubs. These machines accept contactless payments and are integrated with inventory management software that alerts your phone exactly when a specific row of product drops below a certain threshold. You do not spend your days wondering what is selling. The data tells you exactly what to restock. When a security guard buys an energy drink and a protein bar during their 4 a.m. break, your phone registers a high-margin transaction while your eyes are closed. The seventh business operates on a similar principle of automated distribution, but on a grander scale. Ice vending machines. Think about the traditional ice business. A truck drives to a gas station, delivers bags of ice, which are stored in a freezer. The logistics are messy, the melting risk is high, and the margins are split between the manufacturer, the distributor, and the retailer. An independent ice vending kiosk sits on a busy road near a lake or a beach, hooks directly into the municipal water line and power grid, and filters and freezes the water on demand. The machine bags the ice internally or drops it straight into the customer's cooler. Your raw material cost is literally the cost of city tap water, which is fractions of a penny per gallon. The customer pays several dollars per bag. It is a miniature, automated manufacturing plant that requires no staff and operates continuously. Eighth on our list is the commercial water filtration and purification kiosk. Much like ice, clean drinking water is a non-negotiable human need. In many regions, municipal water, while safe, suffers from poor taste or aesthetic quality, prompting consumers to seek purified water in bulk 5-gallon jugs. By placing automated water purification kiosks outside supermarkets or in residential plazas, you capture this steady flow of traffic. The machine processes the water via reverse osmosis on site, dispenses it to the customer who brings their own container, and processes the digital transaction. The machine requires only periodic filter changes, leaving the owner to collect the steady stream of microtransactions undisturbed. Let us shift our gaze downward to the dirt, the grime, and the structural integrity of our world. The ninth boring business is commercial waste management and dumpster rentals. Look at any construction site, any home renovation, or behind any commercial shopping center. You will see a large, heavy steel container. Dumpster rental is not a business of elegance. It is a business of logistics and heavy assets. You purchase the steel containers, drop them off at a location, and charge a flat rental fee for the duration the container sits there, plus a fee based on the weight of the waste generated. While you are sleeping, a commercial contractor is filling that container with concrete debris. You are earning an asset utilization fee simply because you own the heavy physical container that society requires to manage its debris. The 10th business is portable sanitation rentals, colloquially known as porta potties. It is easy to look away from this industry with disdain, but the math will quickly cure you of your snobbery. Regulatory frameworks across the globe mandate that construction sites, outdoor festivals, agricultural fields, and public events provide a specific ratio of sanitation facilities per human worker. This creates an artificially enforced, legally mandated demand. You purchase the units, place them on site, and charge ongoing weekly or monthly rental fees that include a scheduled maintenance servicing route. The margins are remarkably high because the initial asset cost is low. The durability of the plastic shell is high, and the human biological need is absolute. 11th, we examine the realm of residential and commercial property maintenance, specifically gutter cleaning and roof debris removal systems that utilize long-term maintenance contracts. While the labor itself is active, the business model turns passive when you scale it through subcontractor networks and automated scheduling systems. Property owners dread scaling ladders. By establishing an automated scheduling engine that prompts homeowners via text and email that their biannual gutter clearing is due, you lock in recurring service revenues. The software dispatches a vetted technician, collects the credit card payment upon photographic proof of completion, and deposits the funds into your account. The business functions as a logistical clearinghouse for mandatory home maintenance. 12th is an enterprise that exists entirely because of modern environmental regulations. Grease trap cleaning for commercial kitchens. Every single restaurant, school cafeteria, hotel kitchen, and food processing plant is legally required to install a grease trap to prevent fats, oils, and grease from entering the public sewer system. These traps must be pumped out regularly by law, or the business faces massive municipal fines and closure. By owning a vacuum truck and establishing recurring automated service contracts, your route drivers operate throughout the night, pumping out these subterranean tanks while the city sleeps. The business owner does not hold a hose. They hold the contracts that enforce a compliance-driven revenue stream. Let us step inside the corporate environment for our 13th boring business: commercial office cleaning or janitorial services managed via automated workforce dispatch. White-collar workers arrive at their desks at 9 in the morning and expect the trash cans to be empty, the carpets to be vacuumed, and the bathrooms to be sanitized. This work happens exclusively at night. By building a commercial cleaning enterprise that utilizes mobile time tracking and GPS-verified task management software, you can manage an entire nocturnal workforce from your living room. The contracts with the office buildings are long-term, corporate-to-corporate agreements with fixed monthly fees. The revenue arrives like clockwork because clean working environments are tied directly to corporate liability and employee productivity. 14th, let us look at specialized billboard and outdoor advertising asset management. I am not speaking of digital agencies that manage complex online ad campaigns with volatile algorithm updates. I am speaking of physical steel structures placed adjacent to high-traffic interstate highways. You lease a small patch of land from a farmer or a commercial property owner for a low fixed fee, erect a steel monopole structure, and lease the faces of that sign to local businesses, lawyers, hospitals, insurance agents. Once the vinyl banner is wrapped around that frame, it sits there for 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. Every single car that drives past at 3 in the morning is exposed to that message. The advertiser pays a recurring monthly fee for that physical impression, requiring zero daily operational intervention from you. 15th is the automated asset rental of heavy party and event equipment, specifically items like commercial tents, stages, and industrial heaters. When an organization plans a large outdoor event, they do not purchase tens of thousands of dollars of temporary structural equipment. They lease it. You store these durable, non-perishable assets in a cheap industrial warehouse. The client books them through an online catalog system that calculates availability and delivery fees automatically. A logistics team drops them off, erects them, and leaves them there for a weekend. You are generating significant yield on capital equipment that does not depreciate rapidly and cannot be easily rendered obsolete by technological shifts. Let us now transition into the digital and software-enabled infrastructure layers that keep small businesses running. The 16th boring business is white-labeled software as a service, or SaaS, specifically targeted at hyper-niche local service niches. Consider the software used by a local pest control company, a plumbing business, or a chimney sweep to schedule their routes and send automated invoices. These small businesses do not want to build custom platforms. They want a simple, reliable utility tool. By taking an existing white label software framework, branding it for a specific micro-industry, and selling it for a fixed monthly subscription, you create a highly sticky asset. Once a plumber runs their entire customer database, invoicing history, and schedule through your software, they will almost never cancel. The server handles the data processing while you sleep, and the subscription fees clear every month. 17th is the operation of automated digital content archives and niche directory websites. Consider a website that does nothing but aggregate historical data on municipal zoning laws, or a directory that lists every verified marine mechanic within a specific coastal region. These sites do not require viral social media trends or complex editorial staff. They provide specific, boring, highly structured data that people need to make commercial decisions. They attract highly targeted search engine traffic. You monetize these platforms through automated programmatic display, advertisements, or premium directory listings, where service providers pay a monthly fee to be featured at the top. The traffic arrives 24 hours a day, the ads serve automatically, and the revenue accumulates silently. 18th on our list is an incredibly unglamorous digital asset class: automated security backup and data archiving services for local medical and legal practices. Regulatory frameworks demand that patient records and client legal files be backed up to off-site, encrypted locations daily to comply with privacy and retention laws. A small law firm or dental clinic does not want to think about this. You provide them with a pre-configured, lightweight software agent that installs on their local servers. Every night at 2 in the morning, the software silently compresses, encrypts, and uploads their daily data modifications to secure cloud storage infrastructure. You are paying pennies per gigabyte for bulk cloud space, while charging the client a premium for regulatory compliance and peace of mind. The data flows over the fiber optic lines while the city is asleep. 19th is the business of ATM machine ownership and placement. While society moves increasingly toward digital payments, there remains a massive, consistent baseline demand for physical cash in specific environments: nightclubs, cash-only festivals, convenience stores in underbanked areas, and gaming facilities. When you place an independent ATM in one of these high-traffic locations, you are essentially deploying a small steel box that buys wholesale cash and sells it at retail prices via the convenience surcharge fee. The user inserts their card, draws out $40 of their own money, and pays a $3 surcharge. That surcharge is split between you and the location owner. The transaction is processed electronically. The funds are settled back into your bank account within 24 hours, and the machine sits there ready for the next customer. Finally, the 20th boring business is the ownership of automated commercial laundry routes within multifamily apartment buildings. This is distinct from owning a standalone laundromat building. In this model, you approach the owners of large apartment complexes and offer to manage their communal laundry rooms. You purchase the commercial-grade, card-operated washers and dryers, install them in their buildings, and agree to split the revenue with the property management company. The tenants use the machines out of absolute geographic convenience. They cannot or do not want to haul their laundry miles away. You do not pay rent for a retail storefront. You occupy a utility room inside a captive ecosystem. The tenants wash their bedding late at night, their digital payments clear via the CloudLink terminal, and your capital continues to compound. Let us synthesize the underlying architecture of these 20 businesses. Why do they work? Why are they superior to the highly celebrated, fast-paced world of technological startups? The answer lies in 3 distinct economic pillars: low cognitive friction for the consumer, high operational durability, and structural defense against obsolescence. First, consider low cognitive friction. When a consumer buys a sophisticated new software product or a trendy lifestyle service, they must be educated. You must convince them why they need it, how to use it, and why their life will be better because of it. This requires massive marketing expenditures and high customer acquisition costs. Now consider a car wash, a storage unit, or a laundromat. There is zero customer education required. A person knows exactly what a storage unit does. It holds their extra couch. They know exactly what a car wash does. It removes the dirt from their windshield. The utility is self-evident. You are not selling a concept. You are fulfillment centers for pre-existing human friction. Second, consider high operational durability. A trendy clothing boutique or a fine dining restaurant is highly dependent on human whim, cultural trends, and economic cycles. If the cultural zeitgeist shifts, or if consumer discretionary spending contracts, those businesses are immediately vulnerable. But the demand for waste removal, for clean clothes, for secure data backups, and for parking spaces remains fundamentally unchanged during an economic downturn. In fact, during a recession, self-storage facilities often experience an increase in occupancy because individuals are downsizing their living spaces and need a place to store their furniture. These businesses are structurally hedged against the volatility of human emotion. Third, consider the defense against technological obsolescence. If you build a mobile application today, a competitor can emerge tomorrow with a slightly faster interface or a slightly more engaging algorithm and destroy your market share overnight. Technology depreciates at an exponential rate. But a well-located piece of real estate operating as a mobile home park or a parking garage cannot be easily disrupted by a software update. The physical geography provides a natural moat. A digital platform cannot wash a physical car, it cannot store a physical box of family heirlooms, and it cannot pump out a commercial kitchen's grease trap. The physical reality of human existence demands physical maintenance, and that maintenance requires localized assets. To transition from a laborer who exchanges time for money to an enterprise owner who commands assets that produce wealth while they sleep, you must shift your internal psychology. You must cure yourself of the desire for prestige. You must stop looking for businesses that allow you to sound impressive at dinner parties. If your primary motivation is to tell people that you are building an artificial intelligence company, you are paying a massive premium for vanity. But if your motivation is the absolute mastery of cash flow, the acquisition of predictable assets, and the structural liberation of your time, then the boring business becomes the most beautiful thing in the world. The path to building these quiet empires requires discipline, meticulous operational structuring, and the systematic implementation of automation technology. You do not buy a laundromat to sweep the floors yourself. You buy a laundromat to install remote monitored security systems, automated door locks, and card clearing networks, and you hire a third-party service provider to manage the physical maintenance. You build systems, not jobs. You become a capital allocator who purchases automated cash-flowing machines, refines their operational efficiency, and allows the mathematics of compounding returns to execute their function. Look out the window of your room tonight. Look at the dark buildings, the empty streets, the silent infrastructure of your city. While the citizens are asleep, the silent gears of the boring economy are turning. The data is backing up, the ice machines are freezing water, the billboards are standing tall against the night sky, and the automated gates are lifting to let vehicles park. Money is being made quietly, without fanfare, without drama, and without the active presence of the owners. That is the ultimate objective of true enterprise architecture. Stop chasing the spectacular. Learn to look at the unglamorous, the repetitive, and the completely mundane corners of our world, because it is within those exact corners that the most stable, enduring wealth is generated day after day, night after night, while you sleep. The physical landscape of modern commerce is saturated with digital noise. Millions of businesses compete frantically for a few square inches of space on a consumer smartphone screen, participating in a hyper-volatile bidding war governed by opaque tech algorithms that can change overnight. Yet, while the digital advertising ecosystem suffers from extreme saturation and declining attention spans, there exists a physical structural asset class that remains completely immune to ad blockers, algorithm changes, and digital fatigue. The physical highway monopole billboard. This is the essence of passive geographic-based physical impression assets. It is a business model that does not require you to create content, chase viral trends, or understand complex consumer psychographics. It requires only that you understand the unchanging laws of human geometry and traffic flow. So long as human beings must physically transport themselves from one location to another via vehicular infrastructure, the physical billboard remains an absolute, unskippable reality of the geographic environment. To understand the economic power of this asset, one must look closely at the structural relationship between space, speed, and attention. Consider a major interstate corridor connecting a suburban residential zone to a dense metropolitan commercial center. Every morning, tens of thousands of vehicles travel down this asphalt channel at 60 miles per hour. The drivers and passengers inside these vehicles represent a captive audience. They cannot close the window on the external world. They cannot scroll past the landscape while operating a motor vehicle. And their eyes are legally mandated to stay focused on the horizon. By erecting a massive steel monopole structure immediately adjacent to this high-volume transit vein, you are capitalizing on an immutable human constraint. You are taking a worthless patch of dirt alongside a highway and transforming it into a high-yield distribution node that projects a commercial message directly into the field of vision of thousands of potential consumers every single hour of the day. The operational architecture of a billboard enterprise is remarkably simple, elegant, and free from daily labor friction. The process begins with the acquisition of a long-term ground lease. The billboard operator does not typically buy the expensive highway frontage real estate outright. Instead, they approach the private landowner, often a farmer, a local industrial warehouse owner, or a commercial developer whose land abuts the highway easement, and offer them a long-term easement or ground lease contract. This contract grants the operator the legal right to erect and maintain a steel sign structure on a tiny, otherwise useless fraction of the property. In exchange, the landowner receives a fixed monthly rent or a small percentage of the sign's advertising revenue. Because that small patch of dirt cannot be used for agricultural cultivation or commercial building development due to zoning setbacks, the landowner views this as pure found money. Once this ground lease is secured, often for a duration of 15 to 30 years, the operator installs the physical steel asset. Once the steel monopole and the structural display faces are engineered and bolted into the concrete foundation, the asset enters its operational phase, which requires virtually zero ongoing maintenance. In the traditional vinyl billboard model, a local business, such as a personal injury attorney, a regional hospital network, an automotive dealership, or a fast food franchise located at the next exit, signs a lease agreement to occupy that specific face for a period ranging from 6 months to multiple years. The advertiser pays for the production of the heavy vinyl banner, and a specialized installation crew wraps the structure. From that exact moment, the business becomes entirely passive for the asset owner. The vinyl sign sits high above the highway, completely unaffected by the digital noise of the internet. It does not require a customer service department. It does not require an inventory replenishment system. And it does not suffer from mechanical wear and tear beyond periodic lighting adjustments. The advertiser pays a recurring monthly leasing fee via an automated clearinghouse bank transfer on the first of every month, completely independent of the operator's daily activity. The economic resilience of this asset class is further reinforced by the strict regulatory environments that govern outdoor advertising. In almost every developed municipality and state corridor, the Highway Beautification Act and local zoning ordinances place severe restrictions on the construction of new outdoor advertising structures. There are strict laws governing the minimum distance required between two billboard structures, the maximum height permitted, and the total number of permits allowed within a specific county or transit zone. This creates an artificial regulatory scarcity. Once you secure a permit and erect a legal billboard structure in a high traffic zone, you have effectively established a localized monopoly. A competing advertising firm cannot simply come along and build another sign directly next to yours to undercut your prices, because the law explicitly forbids it. Your physical asset is protected by the municipal code, ensuring that its value appreciates over time as traffic density grows, while the supply of available signs remains permanently capped. When this business model is modernized through the implementation of digital LED display faces, the yield on capital expands exponentially while maintaining its passive characteristics. By replacing a traditional vinyl face with a high-resolution, light-emitting diode digital screen, the operator is no longer restricted to renting the space to a single advertiser. Instead, the digital billboard runs a continuous loop of multiple advertising slots, typically changing every 8 to 10 seconds. This allows the operator to sell the exact same physical space to 6, 8, or 10 different non-competing advertisers simultaneously. The scheduling of these advertisements is managed completely remotely via cloud-based software networks. The operator can upload new creative assets, adjust the rotation schedule, and monitor the operational health of the LED panels from a computer anywhere in the world. The physical asset stands in the dark, illuminated against the night sky, cycling through commercial messages and generating multiple distinct streams of recurring revenue from a single piece of steel infrastructure. The ultimate beauty of the billboard asset class lies in its profound detachment from the operational complexities that plague traditional corporate enterprises. You are not managing a large workforce. You are not dealing with supply chain disruptions, and you do not have to worry about shifting consumer preferences rendering your product obsolete. A billboard does not care what the next trendy social media application is. It only cares that people are still driving cars on the highway. The revenue generated by these structures accumulates quietly, night after night, as the morning commute turns into the evening rush hour. The capital allocator who owns these high-impression physical nodes understands that wealth is not found in the pursuit of the complex, but in the institutionalization of the obvious. By anchoring capital into physical steel and secure ground leases along the major arteries of human movement, you create a silent, highly defensive financial engine that extracts predictable, compounding returns from the simple, ongoing flow of daily civilization.